Now you just told earlier on, you said how you got the job for Rap City. That's very interesting. You got the job, and Joe Claire was already doing it, or y'all got together at the same time?
No, the order was Chris Thomas.
Thomas, right?
Prime, Prince DeJour.
Okay.
Then it was me. So when I auditioned for the show, our first shoot was somewhere like at Jacksonville or one of those picnic kind of things.
Right.
It wasn't Atlanta, but it was like one of those Black Spring.
Right. I remember,
yeah.
BET used to do that.
And Prince DeJour, who used to do Teen Summit,
Sure.
kind of ushered me in. And so next thing you know, we did, Outkast was probably like one of the first artists that I got to interview. And that was their first time really on BET. And next thing you know, it was just kind of conversations, and all the people like the Fugees were out around that time.
Right, sure.
And Wyclef is somebody who, honestly, that first audition I told you out of college where I did an off-Broadway play, it was me, it was Wyclef, there was a couple other people. He had scored the music to that off-Broadway play, and I danced in it. And he hadn't had his deal yet. He was still going by his government name Nell and all that other stuff.
Sure.
And so then the labels who I had danced for realized I was doing this show, so then they would request me all the time. And then that was just kind of it.
And you seem to fit in it. You smoothly glided into it. It's because of all the hip hop you were around and the people you knew, a lot of relationships. And I say that because I do this show and I've never done an interview. I've been interviewed, but it's become very easy because I know these people. I know you. And so it's not. People say, "Man, you do a great job." I'm like, I've never done this before, but this is easy because I know people. And did you feel the same way when you did the show? You know, like, man, I can do this. This is nothing. Or were you nervous?
No, I wasn't nervous, but here's the catch, right? Because in high school, instead of me going into sports medicine and physiology, I was going to be a journalist.
Okay.
So I studied journalism. I had like these classes junior, senior year, and then I changed my mind when I got to college. But my first couple of shows, when you look back, and I think everybody who's ever hosted can say that, like, what are you doing?
Really?
And I remember interviewing Kid and Play. And remember, I grew up with them, so I'm thinking it's going to be all natural, whatever. And Play, in his smart mouth, said, I had asked him a question. He's like, well, you weren't paying attention? I just answered that. Because people end up talking and answering whatever. And I was so glued to my cards and the cue cards and making sure. And I was like, this motherfucker just sunned me on camera.
Right.
And I was like, that will never, ever happen again. And so from that point on, I became more aware about listening and less what was on the cards. And then I realized I didn't need the cards because I knew the music, I knew the artists, I knew the culture. And so I ended up pretty much telling the producers what we should be talking about or whatever, or just kind of going off script, or they just let me do my thing. Dope. Find your rhythm, and then people feel really comfortable talking to you, especially if they've known you've been around in the trenches with them.
There
you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. I love. Now, how did Joe Claire get with you in the show?
Joe Claire I don't think he had started radio yet, but my producer Keith Paschal had brought him in. And I think he was just doing voiceovers for BET, like commercials and all that other stuff. But you know, he's a hip hop aficionado.
Right, sure.
Joe knows the lyrics to every damn
rap
song
I've had him on
the
here.
planet.
Yeah.
And you know, next thing you know, they put us together. So while Prince DeJour, I think, had gone back to do Teen Summit, then I kind of ushered in Joe, and then we became a package deal, like a duo, still doing separate stuff. But we ended up being on that show for like 7-8 years. He stayed a little longer.
Now, this is a friend of mine wanted me to ask this question. I didn't really know the in depth in it. It was kind of
Come with it.
LA Live on BET. I heard that Cedric Entertainer wanted you to be on LA Live. I guess it was a show called LA Live, and it didn't go. They wanted Rachel Stewart and Michael Collier to do it, or some kind of way. They wanted Rachel Stewart. And since Ted said, I ain't gonna do it if I ain't gonna be with her, with Les, and they said, damn it, we want Rachel Stewart enough, and we're gonna put Michael Collier, and that's how LA Live became. So you had a chance to be on LA Live first with Cedric. Is this true, or is my nigga just told me to ask you a question about this shit, and he's full of shit and lying to me? And you know what I'm talking about, nigga. Yeah, you Ed.
No, there's some truth to that. But see, you just telling me something new that I didn't know, right? Because I didn't know that Ced wanted me and that he was a part of it. I had moved to LA and I was doing radio. I had started doing the morning show with Big Boy on Power 106, and so I was his co-host. And so we were actually shooting Rap City during that show. So they're getting double promotion now. You're getting local radio promotion and it's cross promotion.
Right, sure.
So the show was coming to LA, but it was with John Sally, and they were looking for a girl. And they wanted Rachel, and this is when they told me to my face that you are not the person that men want to see on late night TV sitting on the couch. To my face.
You lying, come on, man.
To my face. And that wasn't the first time that they've said that to me coming from BET. And I was like,
is it a complexion thing, you think?
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Keep going.
No, and so I was like, but I'm here. Now you got to
Right.
move her out or whatever the case is, and they were just like, no. And so when Video Soul got canceled, when they got not get rid of when they did get rid of Donnie
Right.
and Sherry Carter. They created a show called Unreal, which was myself, Brett Walker, and then Rachel.
Walker. Yeah, okay.
But what they also made me give up Rap City. They were like, no, you can only have one show. But they let her keep Caribbean Rhythms. So for those who don't know, and this is nothing against Rachel, I was like, girl, get your money.
Right.
Because her husband worked for her. He was her fiance, then became her husband, worked for the network, and him and Bob Johnson was like this. So he did what he was supposed to do. Like,
Okay, you're
let me
right.
get my wife and she's going to run the network.
Right.
But Rachel was clueless about music and anything else, to the point where she would be like, can you give me some information? I'd be like, no. I'm not doing your job for you because I should have your job. Because I should have your job. And so she was like, I understand, and we're still cool. I got nothing but love for her.
Okay.
So yeah, but she shouldn't have been on that show. She,
Right.
as beautiful as she is,
Right,
really
right,
looked like
right.
a plant sitting next to John Sally.
No, that's real
Because
talk.
there was not much she could contribute to unless it was written on a cue card. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
real. And I'm glad you bring that, because it's too long, man, having these men run this business and they just want what the eye candy, and they don't give a damn if you're smart or not, knowledgeable, like you said, of the stuff. And to say what America wants as viewership, man, you know, you've always been a beautiful black woman to me. You know, I don't get it. I mean, I get it because I know I'm behind the scenes, but I don't get it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I appreciate that.
For real.
But it's always been, and this is not like boo-hoo, cry, whatever the case is, but literally, this is the analogy I always give. If you see Jennifer Lopez, Lucy Liu, Halle Berry, and myself walking down the street, I'm the last one that you guys will look at, right? Because I look like your mother, I look like your sister, and everybody thinks that the light, bright, and damn near white is more beautiful or more presentable than someone like me.
Even today, you think?
Well, absolutely. Absolutely.
Not all that ass you got, girl.
But we have to work a little. We got to work a little harder to prove that we have skills and that we're viable and all this other stuff. And sure, we're attractive to the least of the population, but the executives who are upstairs want their preference and they want what makes their penis hard.
Right.
And I just happen not to be it.
You're so right. I used to have white agents and white managers, and we'd be at a club or a party, and I could show someone, I mean this honestly, I could show somebody like you know, just how you run. And I'm like, look at that, boy. He's like, oh gosh, she's so fucking huge. I'm like, not even, that's not when you were even slimmer, no disrespect, but you know what I'm saying, even years ago, they'd be like, God damn, you're fucking huge. I'm like, what? And then they would show me some cute, no booty having ass, light skinned chick. You're like, oh, she's fucking hot. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
She weighed 98 pounds, man. And I was like, you know what it is? I think it's like this. It comes down to, you know, when you're making love to them from the back, if you ain't got a 2-inch penis and she got a big booty, you don't see nothing. Like, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? They need some little boy-ass looking dude, boy-ass looking girl and stuff.
Right.
So you're absolutely right. You know, I've been privy in parties and situations where I've seen people look at, and them Jewish managers, I'm being honest, white or Jewish, however you want to look at it. Yeah, so I can see the fight. I feel for you a little bit.
Colorism is a real thing.
Yeah.
Colorism is a real thing, and you just got to persevere and work, whatever. You got to make your talent be the forefront. So anybody who ever said to me, you must have slept your way to the top, I was like, you find me a nigga whose dick was that good that taught me how to backflip, please.
Right, sure.
Where?
Sure. I think it's also now time for us as black folks who are running some of this stuff to put more people that look like our mothers and our sisters in movies. Like me, I've casted movies. I put black, dark skin. It doesn't. As long as you're good, I don't care. I got to find me a light skinned chick. But I think you're absolutely right. We should, people who are running, if you're not the network guy, like a white guy who's running, we can't wait for them to put us in stuff. We need to put our own stuff in, and make us feel like stuff.
But it's a shame, right? As helpful as it is, it sucks that you have to create a diversity department, right? It sucks that you have to create, what is it for work? Not the status quo or whatever it is when you, affirmative action. It's a shame that you have to, but this is the world that we live in, right? So now we got to force your hand to show you that, we belong on Sex in the City and we belong in, all these places.
I think it's changing. I'm hoping it is. I see more dark-skinned women like Viola Davis, Kerry Washington, Lupita. So I'm seeing a little more, and they ain't playing the maids all the time, and that kind of BS.
But you got to force their hand, right? You have
well,
to
let's force it.
Hand.
Fuck it. Is what
Absolutely.
it is. You riding in the front of the bus because somebody got their hand forced. You know what I'm saying? You're drinking out of water fountains because your hands were forced and stuff. So fuck it. We got to do what we got to do. We can't sit back and, like you said, boo-hoo and cry. They don't put us nowhere. Man, fuck that. Take it. Take it.
And now we get to see that those women are our Meryl Streeps.
There you go.
Even better, right?
There you go. No, that's one of the reasons I even had the the show here. I want to give people their flowers, the opportunity to be seen and heard. So hoping my little fans will say, hey, I support this young lady. Hear her story, feel it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of little sound bites on little shit, you know, Entertainment Tonight or whatever. Nah, I want to sit down and talk to my people and say, boom. You know what I'm saying?
Yay.
I got a white guy coming in. That's half my people too. But you know, he's coming next show. My man Pierre. But right now I got this. Got you.
Turn me up a little bit. Turn me up a little bit.
If you like that clip, hit the subscribe button or the notification bell. In fact, why don't you hit both of them?